Oh my God. Look at his balls. They are so big. He must be one of those gamer guys. Like, who understands them anyway?
I say, what? Balls!
Who's got the balls? I got the balls. Big, big, big balls. Who's got the balls? I got the balls. The big, big, big balls.
The balls!
Who got the balls?
I got the balls. The big, big, big the balls. Balls!
Who got the balls?
I got the balls. The big, big, big the balls. Balls!
Who's got them balls?
I got the balls. Big balls!
Who's got them balls?
I got the balls. Big balls. Balls! Big, big balls.
Well, let me just introduce you to my balls here, okay? The right one's Chuck, and the left one's Norris.
This song is all about my balls. 'Cause they big, the opposite of smalls. I say my balls be bouncing left and right. My balls be owning you tonight.
Who got the balls? I got
I
the
got
balls.
the balls, big balls.
Who got the balls? I
I
got the
got the
balls.
balls,
Big, big,
big balls. Balls.
Who got them balls? I got them balls.
Big, big, big balls.
Who's got them balls?
I got the balls, big, big, big the balls. Balls. Big motherfucking balls.
Let me just tell you a quick story about my balls, okay? They're big, they're round, and they're big.
Big, big balls. Balls!
My balls need some sucking. My balls need licking. My balls be swinging. My balls need some sucking. My balls need licking. My balls be swinging. Balls be swinging. My balls need legend. No imitation. My balls need two wheelbarrows for transportation.
Balls!
My balls need jive. My balls be enormous. My balls waving in the air. My balls like they just don't care. Elephants be all like, damn, them Geeks balls. My balls be huge. My balls be Angus. My balls.
Balls!
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Frog, King, and Messiah of Movie Talk, Tony TGD. And of course, joining me, as always, the right hand of the frog, Blinded Braille himself. What's up, Blinded?
What's up? What's up, folks in the chat?
So, Blinded, you had some huge news today, didn't you?
Yes.
Would you like to share with the class?
Yeah, I got into the film school that I wanted to, which I was a little scared there because I did apply to multiple places just in case I didn't get into that specific one. But I got into that one. That was the first one for acceptance. So, yeah, I'm going to accept it. Obviously, that's what I was finalizing last week when it came. So, yeah, everything's done and looking forward to starting the fall. Thanks, man.
So does this mean that you're going to be going off to bigger and better things?
No. I'm staying right here. You guys are going to be seeing me. Even if somehow I obtain some crazy heights, even though I'm not expecting that at all. That'd be insane, but we can only see, I guess. Yeah. I'm very what's it called? I kind of shoot low just in case. That's always been my philosophy.
Keep your expectations low, and you can never be disappointed, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody's saying congratulations, Donovan, George,
Yeah, thanks.
Hans Wisp. So it's going to be a big show. As you can see, Marvel is getting Kang banged.
Left and right. It's a spit roast with multiple Kangs.
It seems like it sometimes. I mean, we went from it was just a girlfriend to now it's like a Marvel Studios or a Marvel, someone employed by Marvel, right?
Yeah. This is insane what's going on here.
Yeah, I think he's I don't have an article on this because we covered this pretty extensively.
Right.
But I think he's done at this point. That Marvel is Disney, pretty woke, right? Pretty woke, and I'm pretty sure if this is an actual employee, right, an actual someone who works for the company, they're going to believe her, right, irregardless.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably going to be handled very seriously, and
there's a lot to talk about with that because that news that came out, that was pretty interesting. And also, I heard something. I don't know when this is going to get released, but there is an article. Someone is writing an article that goes into his backstory because he has a troubled past in university, and a lot of professors are actually speaking out about it. And so this
one day
article is
in
about that.
film school, one day he just barely got accepted, and he's already getting this inside. Like, guys, I got this hot tip.
This is out there though. This is someone was on Reddit talking about this, and I was very curious because it was like, oh wow, this is actually pretty scary. So this information is out there. When is it going to get released? If it's going to get released, I don't know.
I would say maybe Disney's going to pay off if they're going to keep Kang, right? Disney will probably pay them a visit and be like, "Here we go. Here's a bunch of money." Shh. In which case, Disney, I am going to write an in-depth 3 fucking part expose on Jonathan Majors, unless
oh my God.
You deposit some money in that account.
Hush money.
Yeah. I'm all open to the hush money, Disney. Don't worry.
Oh man. I want a paycheck with those mouse ears.
Hell yeah. Them Disney paychecks are the best. Not that I've received any before.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to quietly let him go. But my thing is, I don't know if we're going to start talking about the topic, just if that's the first topic, because I do have a perspective on this that I don't think people are factoring into. So I'll just save that.
Well, it's not really a topic. Like I said, we don't have an article for it, so you could just
get on well, in that article that was released, I mean, you've seen that most people on Twitter, they've seen obviously that in the article, they mentioned that one of the victims was working for Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Now I think it's kind of interesting because he's already been dropped by his manager, his PR, all of that stuff, right? So why hasn't Marvel come out publicly and said anything, right? We can only guess, but the thing is, I find it kind of weird that that's buried in the article, right? As if potentially maybe Disney knew about this. Like if this was on set, they would have to have known, right? Unless they didn't know, and now it's going to blow up in their face, right? So I thought that was peculiar that it was like, oh, you're mentioning specifically the victim worked on Ant-Man Quantumania, the movie that literally just came out, right? That was in production probably like 2 years ago now, right? 2021.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, he's been dropped by every other project, but yet Marvel has not said anything. Are they trying to recast quickly, or are they just waiting? Like what exactly do they have to do, right? Like there's no way they're going to keep him, right? Because he has to still go through all the court proceeding, right? So it's like he's not going to be there to shoot anything. And then on top of that too, who would want to really work with him if this is still up in the air? Like this is not 100% solved by March of next year when they're supposedly shooting the next Avengers movie. So I think something seems off. And that's why I was saying, like, there seems to be more, and we're going to know about it in probably a couple weeks.
Yeah, well, there's an article that just went up about an hour ago in Cinema Blend. They're saying that there's security footage rolling around of alleged Jonathan Majors accuser at club dancing on night of the incident.
Right. I think that's been was out there last week too, because that's what
Well,
his lawyers were trying to.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
what were you
they
gonna say?
said last week. They said last week that she was at the club, but I guess now
Right.
they're saying that there's security footage floating around.
Mm,
But I mean, that again, that doesn't actually mean anything, right? Just because you
right.
got smacked around in a cab doesn't mean you can't go out and be like, you know what, I don't want to go home because you already smacked me around in the fucking cab, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Where else is she gonna go? Yeah. Yeah. It's. I don't know. This seems shady. It seems very weird, and I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? Obviously, but we'll see. I guess. Marvel is like a rough couple of months ahead for Marvel. Besides all this,
yeah. Well, I heard that they already paid him a bunch of money already
mm,
for his contract and everything. And like I was saying
right,
earlier, I would assume that Disney's got to have some sort of morality clause in the contracts, right?
right,
But I don't think they're going to drop him until Loki is over because just like with Flash and Ezra Miller, right? You still got to promote Loki, right? And if you're going, hey, this
right.
guy sucks, he's terrible, we fucking hate him, fucking we got rid of him. And you're like, oh, by the way, he's also in Loki, so please watch that still. Right? It's kind of a
Yeah,
weird message.
I also don't think Loki's coming out this year at all because of this now. Um, and we weren't supposed to get a lot of shows this year anyway. I think we were only supposed to get two. So I don't know if that's still the plan. I mean, I think some things got delayed. Like I know X-Men was in 97 got delayed. That was supposed to come out this year. And then what else? Obviously Ironheart.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have way too many projects in the works. So I think they need to push things back and assess the quality of these things regardless. Because right now I'm not so hot on Marvel. I mean, I don't mind coming back to it, but I'm definitely burnt out and trying to watch other things and consume other, you know, series and franchises.
I agree. I think maybe like I said, they're praying for that writer strike. They're like, please go on
Right.
strike so we can just get rid of them.
Yeah, and that's obviously next week.
Why is it so hard for them to recast 56K warning says? Again, we haven't seen the contract, so there could be just a lot of shit in the contract because he was supposed to play such a pivotal role in this whole phase, right? Who knows if he's got some sort of exit clause or if they're like, well, you know what, we're going to have to pay you for X amount anyway. And they're like,
Right.
fuck, well, if we're going to pay him, you know.
Yeah, I mean, who really knows? Like I said, this I think there's something else going on, right? Like with Marvel in particular.
I mean, and again, there is that long shot that he's just proven innocent. This is all just looks bad, right? The optics are just really bad, but at the end of the day, he's innocent.
Right.
You know, so they could be going for that, you know, that Hail Mary, like fingers crossed, guys.
Which I think would be weird that they would do this. I mean, I guess they learned their lesson, but still, it just seems
But he's so
particularly
pivotal.
odd.
That's what it is, though. Like I said, because again, everything has been Kang, Jonathan Majors,
Right.
he's front and center, and then
I
suddenly
mean,
we go
if
180.
you've seen Ant-Man Quantumania, they removed him entirely from all the promotional art, which I thought
I've seen
was
that.
interesting. Yeah. Really weird.
Like I said, we'll see. Maybe the Loki trailers are going to remove him. He's not going to be featured heavily.
Right.
Now, some rumors are that he's this huge part of the show. Some rumors are like it's all just like a one-off, you know, like 2-episode thing. And
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know that it's going to be. If he's in the show a ton, that would be really scary for them. It's like, wow, that's can't reshoot that.
yeah, which would explain why they're waiting on to see what's going on, or at the very least, let Loki play out and then get rid of him, right?
Right. There's another movie that was supposed to come out, and this was like an Oscar contender, and now that movie's probably worth nothing. It was called The Magazine Dream. and he was like this bodybuilder, this abusive bodybuilder, which, yeah, yeah, not a good
He's
look.
getting typecasted.
Yeah,
So
yeah, magazine dreams. Yeah,
So like I said, who knows? Supposedly, like again, the reports are so fucking wild on this because like you go to one site and it's like Jonathan Majors, no plans to recast him. Marvel's digging in their heels, and you go to another site and they're like, these are the kind of guys that Marvel's eyeing for the replacement of Jonathan Majors. It's like,
it's all over the place.
yeah. What's with these roles he has? He just has a look, I guess. Just has a look.
Right.
They could get somebody from YouTube to replace him.
YouTube. Oh my god.
I mean, I got the perfect candidate. I mean, could you imagine? Here's the scene. They're like, "Hey, is that a flying car?" He was like, "Yeah, because we don't need roads. Because why?
Fuck them hoe ass roads, man.
I submit young Ripper
Oh my
to
god.
replace Jonathan Majors. Come on, let's make it happen."
Oh god. I was gonna make an edgy joke and say EDP.
Oh.
One controversy to another. Imagine that would be extremely fucked up. But oh god.
You'll be begging for Jonathan Majors back after that one.
Someone should Photoshop that. We should see EDP as Kang. For fuck's sake. I had to make that joke. I had to.
I don't know. How's that guy not fucking in jail? Like,
I have no clue. I think they just fucked it up, and there wasn't like it wasn't like a police sting, right? It was like YouTubers trying to get after him, and it's just a mess. It's just an absolute mess. And he keeps going on and on if you're paying attention. It's like he still wants that YouTube career. It's crazy.
It happens. All right. From EDP to a guy who probably got ED.
Oh god.
Harrison Ford is done with Indiana Jones after Dial of Destiny and reveals he will not be involved with TV series.
I mean, yeah, he's almost 90 years old.
Yeah, but you say that as if Marvel's not planning to put him in fucking.
I know, but he's like a CGI character, I guess. At some point in time, right?
Well, I'm guessing the President Ross role is going to be less physical, right? He's probably have to sit by a desk or walk. Harrison Ford can still walk, right? He probably has to walk a little. Harrison Ford is revealing that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny will be the last time he plays the archaeologist. Ooh, is it because he dies? Is Harrison Ford revealing that Indiana Jones dies?
Oh god. I don't know if I'm a fan of that idea.
I think he has to die, right? Like
I guess.
Put a stamp on the character. You can't leave the character out in limbo. Like he's still alive. Because realistically, right? Harrison Ford is playing. They're not CGIing him, right? He's old, Indiana Jones. So it's not like you could recast him and like just get some other old fuck, right? Hey, we just need another fucking old guy to be Indiana Jones, right?
Right.
Whereas like 30 years ago, you could have got a young dude to replace him, and you could have kept him young for so many years and replace him and got like they do with fucking James Bond, right?
Right.
But they didn't. So now your choices are Indiana Jones dies, or he just lives and then he dies of old age. Like, and Indiana Jones one day just fucking croaked. I think he should
just fucking croaked.
Yeah, I mean, just sitting there, reading a book to Solid Junior and he's fucking died.
Oh my god.
I mean, is that how you want to remember him, or would you prefer he goes out fighting Nazis, right? Goes out doing the thing he loves, sacrifices himself. So fucking.
How many of these characters do we need to see go out though? I feel like we've seen James Bond go out, and the director of this movie, James Mangold, he did Logan. So I mean, yeah, maybe there is a possibility we get to see that, but I feel like they should come up with something interesting, something a little bit more unique. than just he dies. But,
Maybe the Dial of Destiny turns him young, sends him back in time, and they're like, now we're gonna restart the series with a new actor.
It's Chris Pratt.
It's playing everything.
Oh God.
Well, he says this is the final film in the series, and this is the last time I'll play the character. Ford told Total Magazine, I anticipate that it'll be the last time he appears in a film. Those hoping that Ford will make an appearance in a television series that is in development, the actor said that, man.
Said.
Damn, Deadline. My head hurts from reading that. That he will not be involved in that if it does come to fruition. The fifth installment of Indiana Jones saga is directed by James Mangold, and the opening sequence of the film takes place in the years depicted between the Last Crusade and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. I wanted the chance to dive into this kind of full-on George and Stephen old picture and give the audience an adrenaline blast. Mangold recently told Empire, and then we fall out, and then you find yourself in 1969, summer of '69. Hell yeah. So that the audience doesn't experience a change between the 40s and 60s as an intellectual conceit, but literally experiences the buccaneering spirit of those early days, and then the beginning of now. That's weird. Do you think with the flashback, because this is going to be between Crystal Skull and Crusade, right?
Right.
Do you think there's going to be like a little kid riding like a motorcycle?
Oh God.
Like, look, it's Mutt.
Oh my God.
I could see it happening.
I could definitely see something like that happening just because they're not bringing back Shia LaBeouf, right? Shia LaBeouf, yeah.
Yeah. Here's what happens. I'm going to predict it already. During the flashback sequence, or whatever you want to call it, the earlier phase sequence, right?
Right.
He goes, the hat gets knocked off, and a little kid puts it on, and you hear the music, the Indiana Jones music, and then Indy grabs it, Harrison grabs it, says, not yet, kid, and then takes it.
Oh my God.
And then right at the end of the movie, after Indy dies, you get the little post-credit, then you have Shia LaBeouf comes back and puts the hat on.
Or not Shia LaBeouf.
It's just somebody else. Right?
Someone who looks like him, I guess.
Does Shia LaBeouf have a brother?
I don't think so.
That's what the leaks are saying?
Oh, God. I haven't seen any leaks for Indiana Jones.
I haven't either. I don't look at leaks. So I'm just really good at calling stuff, I guess.
I just hope this movie's good. That's it. Like, I didn't really like that first trailer, but hopefully, please, like, they got to pull off something. I mean, Lucasfilm is, I don't know what's going on with them.
I don't think they can. I mean, again, not to take anything away from Harrison Ford. He's a great actor. But the dude's fucking old, right? We're not,
Right.
it's going to look stupid, right? If Indiana Jones out there fucking socking Nazis, he's fucking, and you're like, why is this 80-year-old man beating up some fucking buff, like 20-year-old Nazi dudes, right?
Right.
And then secondly, even if they wanted to go that route, you're like, he's 90. How the fuck's Harrison Ford going to like do any of the stunts anyway?
Right. That's the problem when they do these de-age or like the stunt doubles with the older actors, because you could tell that it's not them, just because the way the body's moving, and it's just too energetic. And that's what I got from the trailer. It was like, it's like I love Indiana Jones, right? I have no problem watching another one, even if it's going to be the Crystal Skull, right? But I don't want it to be the Crystal Skull, obviously, right? Like, I would actually want it to be good. So, and the fact that Spielberg's not involved, I do like James Mangold, but I really don't know. Go the Uncharted route.
What being sucky or what?
I think he's talking about the games, maybe, because in the games, obviously, he just retires Nathan Drake.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if he retires, then you have to imagine that eventually he just dies, like,
right,
Just like some uneventful, like, is that how you want Indiana Jones to go out? Like, just fucking dies.
I mean, yeah, they.
You gotta have that your glory mode. He's got to like fucking in a blaze of glory. Indiana Jones.
You
goes
know
out.
what I would do. This would be like I would definitely not bring him back, but it would be interesting to have this character kind of like there's like a mystery surrounding him, like what happens, like keep it ambiguous. Because I mean, it's Indiana Jones, right? He's looking for all these like lost artifacts and all these things. Like it would be cool if he became a mystery within himself, right? Like that was his legacy, right? He's known for
God. Don't even
something
start.
like that. Something like that. I think that would be interesting.
The next movie is going to be the search for Indiana Jones.
Hell no, but you can leave it. Don't make a sequel, but like you can leave it like open ended. That's what I would do.
Mutt in the search for Indiana Jones.
Oh god. Oh, I hope not.
No, like I said, I would rather him go out in a blaze of glory.
Right.
Maybe overcome the whole snake thing, right? You know, a callback to the first movie.
I don't know. They can't mess this up. That's all I know. Don't mess this up, man.
They're going. I think they're going. I love Indiana Jones too. Like Indiana Jones. It's a fucking great movie. I love Last Crusade. Temple of Doom says sorry.
I actually like Temple of Doom.
I think
I grew up watching that more.
It's the weaker one, in my opinion.
As a kid, I could give two shits. It's just like, oh man, the fucking that roller coaster ride near the ending. That was always fun. Yeah, I always liked that scene. Anything with minecarts, it's just fun. I don't know why.
And they definitely did try to make that one more. I want to say family friendly, but more fun and like energetic.
Right. Oh, you gotta watch Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones it's great.
Oh my god, he's never seen an indie movie? How's that possible? How old is that? Are you like 15?
I don't know. But you gotta watch it.
Only one I did see was Crystal Skull and Never Look Back.
I guess that's fair. I mean, if you start off with the weakest one, you might not be that interested.
Yeah. 56K says, make Ford the old man sidekick. Well, I think that's what they're going to do. That would piss everybody off, though, right? Because was it Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the young hotshot in the movie or whatever?
Right. He would be like Sully from Uncharted.
Yeah. I mean, if they make him a sidekick, people will be pissed because, no, he's fucking Indiana Jones isn't a sidekick. And then if it's a woman that he's the sidekick to, then, oh, fuck. It's going to be 100 fucking articles about that. So I think he dies, sacrifices himself for his friends. He goes out, saves the world one last time. And even if, like you said, like I don't know exactly what the dial of destiny is going to be, right?
Right.
But I mean, if he goes in there and like does something and then like he disappears and the only thing left is his hat, and you're like you said, you're like, oh, what happened to him? Did he really die, or did the dial send him somewhere? Like you leave it ambiguous, but he's gone, right? Like, that's it.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more interesting if it's ambiguous. Be a little bit more clever, in my opinion.
I would definitely be on board for that, but we'll see. We'll see. Harrison Ford seems really pissed. Like he doesn't even, like in the interviews and the articles where they talk to him and he like his comments. It almost sounds he sounds annoyed. Like isn't like fuck. I'm just doing this for the hell of it because I owe it to the character, right? Like I really don't want to do it. Kind of like how he was with Han Solo, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah, he definitely does not like Han Solo. It seems like.
Which is weird because Han Solo fucking made him.
Right.
And he wasn't even the first choice for Han Solo, which is odd.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, from old man possibly making people mad to a white girl that definitely makes people mad.
Mm-hmm.
Captain
man.
Marvel 2 may strip away Brie Larson's MCU superpowers. The direct, I think the direct is they are being very dumb with this article. I read
Yeah.
this, and this is the most clickbait. But we'll go through.
no.
We'll go through and see what it says. Yeah, I mean, right now, 1 million neckbeards are crying out in pain.
They're hurt so bad.
I have nothing to complain about, right?
Yeah. God damn.
Because you know what they say, right? Like a victory doesn't help you, right? A victory is a one-time celebration. You would get that one video and that's it. It would be over.
Mhm.
The war is what keeps people coming back. The war is what lines your pocketbooks, what makes all your YouTube videos pop. So this is never going to happen. But let's see what they have to say. John Ross Bradford, you're an idiot. Let's read what you have to say. The MCU could take away the superpowers of Brie Larson's hero in the upcoming Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels. The first trailer for Captain Marvel 2 features a fresh, fun adventure where Monica Rambeau inspects a corrupted jump point in space that causes her to swap places with Carol Danvers and Kamala Khan whenever they use their superpowers. Multiple shots in the trailer showed the Marvel heroes popping up in situations both dangerous and hilarious, including a classic MCU team-up against its latest gender-swapped foe. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, boy.
For a theme as unique as this one, the sequel's main character would be included in such an awesome superpower smackdown. However, Brie Larson was seldom featured doing much of anything in the Marvel's debut trailer. That may explain a lot about what's going on in Captain Marvel 2, as Carol Danvers may actually lose her abilities in the MCU sequel. Basing it because she wasn't like just shooting powers crazy in the trailer.
Right.
Brie Larson's Carol Danvers is shown refraining from using her superpowers in the first trailer for the MCU's last movie of 2023, The Marvels. The Cosmic Avenger may be doing this so that she doesn't trade places with Monica Rambeau or Kamala Khan, but it could also be the case that Captain Marvel loses her superpowers in The Marvels. 2019's Captain Marvel was all about the power that Carol Danvers acquired from the Space Stone and how the Kree wanted to get it from her. Since the Supreme Intelligence couldn't extract the power from Carol, the Kree has installed a device on her neck that can inhibit Captain Marvel's ability to use her superpowers. Although Carol eventually overcame that device and escaped the Kree's grasp, the new trailer for the MCU sequel indicates the Kree are sending a new accuser after Captain Marvel, meaning they're likely still after the power that she possesses 30 years later. I mean, he's extrapolating so fucking much from this trailer, right?
Yeah, he's going way too deep.
Like, they just showed the villain. They didn't even, like, indicate anything of what the villain was doing or why the villain's acting here. Are Captain Marvel's superpowers a problem? No. Brie Larson's a problem.
No, of course.
Now that the Infinity Stones are gone, Captain Marvel may be one of the greatest sources of power in the universe. The Kree know this, and they're surely still wanting the power that Brie Larson's MCU hero has. It's unlikely the Kree have been able to find her since she scared them off in 1995, considering Carol has only been back on Earth a couple of times for no longer than a day. There's a good chance the corrupted jump point that Monica inspects in the new trailer is set up by the Kree in an attempt to retrieve Captain Marvel. After all, it's likely the same jump point that Ronan used when he said he'd be back for Carol. Carol was shown fighting the new accuser in the trailer, but she doesn't use her powers like she did when defending Earth against Ronan and his forces. It's the same scene that shows Monica and Kamala switching places as they use their abilities, yet Carol is unaffected as she lunges at the villain. So far, Kamala and Monica are the only ones that have been shown triggering the switching of places between characters. For instance, when Kamala switched places with Carol by using her bangle, Carol switched places with her mid-flight and ended up being thrown into Kamala's kitchen table. So, okay, so what makes no sense to me, right? This guy's going, she's going to lose her powers, right? And then he goes,
Right.
well, she was shown flying. Like, wasn't that one of her powers?
Mhm.
Are you dumb? And she also has super strength, right? So she doesn't. It could be just the beams,
Right.
that would make her switch places, right? Or it could be that she doesn't actually switch places when she uses her powers, because again, she's flying would be a use of her power. Her super strength would be a use of her power. Whereas Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau are actually using the space stone power, whatever you want to call it, cosmic energy.
Right.
So it could just be a case of what they use, right?
I have no clue what this guy is trying to even get at here. It's like grasping at straws. That's my take.
Interesting. The blink and you miss moment when Carol flies into Khan's house is the only instance in the trailer that shows Captain Marvel using her powers at all. In a later scene, Kamala is shown using her bangle after trading places with Monica. Yet Carol doesn't take Kamala's place like she did earlier in her kitchen. Does that mean that the switching of places only happens when the two heroes are using their powers simultaneously? No, that can't be true, since neither Kamala nor Carol were already using their own abilities when the first two swapped places in the Miss Marvel finale post-credits scene. With that in mind, it's possible that Carol is removed from Captain Marvel 2's superpower switcheroo by losing her powers somewhere in the movie, either by choice or by force. Considering the Kree are coming back with a vengeance in the sequel, they may be the ones responsible for depowering the MCU's strongest superhero again. So there you go. So she's losing her powers. Marvel finally did it.
Oh God.
They're replacing her with Monica Rambeau.
Oh boy. Yeah, 56K. I agree. The simplicity is gone. It's just complicated shit that's not really interesting. Like whatever this article was. I wonder how long it took him to write this. I hope it took him like less than an hour, because this was just what the fuck.
All I can say is they're trying to use a thing from the comics into the MCU without having the same limits.
Right.
The negabands and the double pair of negabands.
Right.
So who knows? They're just like, hey, we'll just throw a bunch of shit at the wall and hopefully it sticks.
Yeah, that's what it seems like now. I still have yet to even see the Marvels trailer. I'll probably watch the movie, but it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm being misled over and over again, so might as well just watch the movie going blind. Literally, I guess.
What's funny is in the trailer, Bree is best. It is. In the trailer, they have, I don't want to spoil it for you, but Monica Rambeau is in a spacesuit and she touches the jump point.
Right.
They don't even say it's corrupted, right? She's just like investigating it. They don't really say what's going on. So it could just be a matter of, hey, there's a jump point here. What the fuck is it? Let's investigate it, right? Them all talking about it being corrupted. I don't know where the fuck they got that from. But she touches it, and she trades places with Kamala Khan. But the weird thing is, somehow, tiny Kamala Khan is in the costume, in the spacesuit, and it fits perfectly, right? Like, you would think that, like, the size difference would have fucked it up. Like, her head's, like, exactly, like, perfectly where it needs to be. So,
odd.
It is odd. Everything what Marvel does is odd.
Weird. Just totally weird.
You think it's going to make $1 billion again?
No. I don't think any Marvel movie going forward, unless it's an Avengers movie, is going to make anywhere close to $1 billion. Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know why people keep saying Guardians of the Galaxy is going to make $1 billion. That's a massive reach. Same thing with this movie.
Krell says, I don't know. Everything I've seen about Brie Larson or whatever comes off as someone with deep contempt for the audience. I disagree. I am not a Brie Larson simp. But we went over, like, we did it like a deep dive on Brie Larson that one day, remember?
Right,
and
yeah.
We were watching, like, interviews and stuff. And when you watch like the actual like full length interviews, a lot of it comes off like she's just really awkward and has terrible humor. Like she tells
She's
jokes
very
that just don't land.
sarcastic. Yeah. We saw that clip because I was convinced that either she was upset at Chris Hemsworth. Everybody knows that clip. And it turns out, no, she was being sarcastic. Like, she actually laughed after she said that. Like, she was being, like, a bit of annoying or, like...
Playful.
Right, yeah.
I think she's just, like I said, awkward, uptight. Remember, she went from, like, basically being nothing to, like, Marvel put her out there, like, you're Captain Marvel now.
Right.
You're going to be the new face. And then everyone, like, attacked her, and she's like, what the fuck's going on? I just want to be an actor.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for her. I don't think she's annoying or has deep content for the audience. I think she's probably just as surprised by the reaction, like just because she made that one comment about that one movie, A Wrinkle in Time. Yeah.
And I mean, what she said wasn't even that egregious, right?
Right.
It was more the way she said it, and the implication that like, oh, well, because you're an old white dude, you can't relate to the movie, right?
Right. That was I also think that was her somewhat humor, because if you go and what we watched, it's like her humor is really weird. And people just don't pick up on it. Like where she sounds like she's frustrated or annoyed, but that's actually her joking. So. Because I think they also took that another clip out of context where it was like, "Oh, do people even want me back?" And like people are like, "You see, even she knows everybody hates her, right?" And it's like she was joking. Like, okay, like relax. It's weird. Yeah.
I mean, with that said, I don't think she's like a great actress by any means. I mean, literally, I forgot she was in 21 Jump Street. Like someone had to point it out to me. Like Brie Larson's in that. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, she's the love interest. I'm like, fuck, you're right. She is. Like she's so just not memorable.
Yeah, she's like that in a lot of movies, unfortunately. I don't think she's a bad actress. I think she just isn't given a lot of opportunities. That's how I see it. Captain Marvel was not the character that she should have gone with.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think she was ready to be like a leading action star like that.
Right. She needed something else before this.
But speaking of Disney problems, Disney begins largest wave of layoffs. We'll get more than halfway to target of 7,000 staff cuts this week.
Oh, boy.
Not including Jonathan Majors. Disney is initiating the second and largest round of its planned layoffs Monday and expects to reach 4,000 of its projected 7,000 staff cuts by Thursday. A staff memo from Disney Entertainment co-chairman Alan Bergman and Dana Walden delivered the news, indicating that affected workers would be notified from now through Thursday. A final round will take effect before the start of the summer. How many YouTubers do you think are going to get cut?
How many YouTubers?
Yeah, we're going to find out like a bunch of movie channels are like, fucking Disney, let me go. Fuck all their movies. They suck.
Oh, God.
John Candy's like, they fired me.
They fired me after I bashed them and shot all over them, yeah.
Controlled opposition.
Oh, God. But you know, it was weird. You had like Bob Iger saying that they're going to bring all these, how many of jobs, and it's going to cost billions of dollars, and then he like lets all these people go. So it's like, does that even make sense? Like, it's weird timing.
Who are they cutting? Like,
I think that might be the parks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it say specifically?
I haven't read the article. Maybe it does later on.
Or maybe it's like various departments. Because I don't know if you knew this. This was weird. Apparently Disney had a metaverse department.
I did not know that.
And so they like cut the entire department, so everybody lost their job. And it's like, why was that even a thing in the first place? Like, apparently Bob Chapek was like, oh yeah, this metaverse stuff is going to take off.
It's gonna be huge.
It's
Fucking meta.
weird. Just totally weird. Yeah.
But George is right. He says Captain Marvel is the weakest origin film in the MCU, in my opinion. Yeah, I've discussed this so many times. Why I think it's weak. And again, not to go over it again, but they needed to edit it better. It was edited wrong.
Yeah.
The whole fucking out of order shit doesn't play well for people who don't know who Captain Marvel is. She's not a noteworthy character. She's not a Batman or a Spider-Man or Captain America or even a Hulk, where people know the origin, so you can kind of play around with, the time frame. And,
And the origin is way too simple too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needed to be straightforward. That the fact that the Kree were already established in the MCU as villains, right?
Right.
Like, it's supposed to be a twist, but you're just like, yeah, I know, right? Like, no shit. And then like they made the fucking Skrulls good guys.
Right.
So,
yeah, that was supposed to be the twist.
Yeah. It's like a double twist.
Yeah.
Ha! You didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that movie's just lackluster all around.
And then the villain's really like, you can't beat me. Oh, that was the end of that? Okay. That was
I forget who the villain was. Jude Law?
Yeah.
What was his character's name?
Well, it was Jude Law and Ronan, wasn't it?
It was Ron. I don't even remember Ronan in the movie. He was like barely in the movie.
Yeah, because he was part of the Skrull, not the Skrull,
Right.
the Kree Strike Force or whatever the fuck it's called.
Right. He's the accuser, right? So he's like, yeah.
Beefy says Captain Marvel is a 10 out of 10.
Oh, I don't know about that, man.
It made Marvillion dollars.
Marvillion dollars. Oh God.
The final round will take effect before the start of summer. These are hard decisions and not ones we take lightly. But every decision has been made with considerable thought, and we're doing everything we can to make sure this process is conducted with respect and compassion while also keeping money in our pockets. I mean, forget that.
Forget that last part.
This week's staff reduction has been anticipated for weeks, with workers referring to it as the big one, or more ominously, damn it, a bloodbath, as Deadline has reported. The initial wave began on March 27th. The company said last February it expects to realize $5.5 billion in cost savings as a result of the layoffs and other austerity measures. ESPN and Parks, Experience and Products, the other two corporate divisions, will see staff cuts along with entertainment. Is this why they got rid of what's your name?
Who, Victoria Alonso?
Yeah. Could you imagine that? I was like, dude, you were just part of the layoffs.
Oh my God. That'd be sad.
You were just a redundant job. Like, we didn't need you anymore.
Damn. I mean, it's not technically wrong. Her role was literally just Kevin Feige's job, but they had a title to it, a different title. It was weird.
No frontline operational workers at the company's theme parks are expected to lose their job, however. Good job. The carnies get to keep their jobs.
Okay.
CEO Bob Iger began outlining plans for downsizing soon after returning to the top job last November. One area targeted for cuts has been the centralized distribution organization created by its predecessor, Bob Chapek. Kareem Daniel, who led Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution, was let go from the company on Iger's first official day back at the controls following Chapek's ouster. Like its peers in the media business, Disney is contending with secular decline in its lucrative pay TV business, at the same time as trying to continue funding its streaming efforts despite their still murky economics. In the most recent quarter, the company booked a $1 billion loss in streaming, despite record-setting revenue of $5.3 billion. The loss was an improvement over the previous quarter, which saw a $1.5 billion red figure. After several quarters of growth, flagship service Disney Plus also moved backward for the first time, shedding 2.4 million subscribers to the end of quarter at 161.8 million. This is wrong. I hate Deadline. What can I strangle the who wrote this shit?
Who knows who wrote this?
Dade Hayes. Why are you fucking putting up? It's not fake news, but it's damn near close. Damn near fucking close. Okay.
Did it? What was this? Was this about the subscribers numbers being because of India and
That's
the whole
right.
thing? Right.
Because 2.4 million subscribers were shed because they no longer were carrying the cricket matches on Disney Plus in India, and so people in India, the Indians, switched to a different service. It had nothing. It had literally nothing to do with anything else. Right? It's like, yes, they lost 2.4 million, but the reasons why they lost it and how it affects them as far as how much they were paying, because they weren't paying the fucking Disney Plus price that we pay here in America.
Right. It was like significantly cheaper.
Yeah. I think it was like the equivalent of like $1 or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Here's the full memo from Bergman and Walden. Team, as you know, a few weeks ago, the company began notifying employees whose roles are impacted as part of our overall business realignment and cost savings efforts. We wanted to share that notifications will continue in many areas of the company over the next several days. In addition, restructuring in various businesses will continue for the next couple of months, and we do anticipate there will be further impacts before the summer, as previously shared. Each team is in a different place in the process, and your leaders will be sharing more context for your group soon. They're going to do like, what the hell is it? Not Batman Begins. That was the one with the Joker.
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Yeah, they're going to do like the Dark Knight where they're just going to come in with a pool stick and like, like, here you go. We only need 2. Figure it out.
Man. Oh, man.
These are hard decisions and not ones we take lightly. But every decision has been made with considerable thought, and we're doing everything we can to make sure this process is conducted with respect and compassion as we kick you out on your ass. And the senior
get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. No watch, no nothing. The senior leadership teams have been working diligently to define our future organization, and our biggest priority has been getting this right rather than getting it done fast. We reorganize. We recognize that it has been a period of uncertainty, and thank you all for your understanding and patience. This is right now, like if I got this memo, right, I'm sitting at my desk and I get this memo, I'm going, fuck it. Now I'm getting all the Disney secrets. I'm leaking everything at this point. Fuck you, Disney.
Just take my all my files and drop it on Twitter and let the chaos begin. Oh, man.
This is a time of transition for Disney. Disney's new pronouns will be they, them. And these changes affect everyone, whether or not your role is impacted. We are committed to supporting you through this period and encourage you to reach out to your leader or HR partner with any questions or for guidance as needed. Also, like if you knew, like if I was in a position where like I'm pretty sure, 99% sure I'm getting laid off or fired or however you want to put this, right? I just stopped working at that point. I just stopped working. Just come into the office, kick my feet up, play some fucking Minesweeper on the computer.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
You got to pay me anyway.
Yeah. While we are confident that these efforts will better position us for the future, we realize this all takes a toll. We want to acknowledge the impact of this moment and simply reiterate our appreciation for all of you and the passion and dedication you brought to the work we do every day. And for those who will be leaving the company, please know that your contributions are valued and appreciated. You all played a meaningful role in making Disney a lot of money. I mean, what it is today. With gratitude, Alan and Dana.
Now get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, play out your desk.
Yeah. Scram. He's like, oh, man, this is just...
Is this Get Woke, Go Broke, or...
I have no clue what this is. This is just kind of pathetic. Especially that last one. That last little paragraph. Oh, God.
If, like you were saying with the metaverse stuff,
Right.
Chapek might have put a bunch of unnecessary positions, hired a bunch of people. One of the things that companies do, to not cook the books, but sort of give an appearance of growth, right?
Hmm.
Is suddenly you're hiring a bunch of people for unnecessary positions. Look, all these people we're hiring. We must be growing, right? And we'll just figure it out later. And maybe that was what Chapek was doing. Like, it's just creating divisions and stuff. Like, just hire a bunch of people for fucking the metaverse, or for that like a media distribution position and shit, right?
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Lots of bullshit at Disney. Seems like there's bullshit every week at Disney.
This is all Jonathan Major's fault.
Oh God. It's just domino effect.
Speaking of Disney.
No, more Disney.
More Disney. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 reviews. Critics share strong reactions to the sequel.
Wow, shocker. I mean, I'm excited for the movie, but I fucking hate when they do shit like this.
You want to hear the reactions? Digital Spies Ian Sandwell proudly proclaimed the movie to be a brilliant end to a brilliant trilogy. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a brilliant end to a brilliant trilogy. It's very funny, emotional, and everybody gets their standout moment. Will Poulter's Warlock is a terrific addition, yet the focus is rightly on telling a satisfying end for the Guardians. Gonna miss them.
A brilliant end to a brilliant trilogy. God damn. Couldn't you, pick another word?
No, it's simply brilliant. Alexander Cardello from Moviesign says, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Volume 3, is more than ever Star Wars as a stoner comedy. Lovable weirdos, big Marvel action, and goofy jokes. But nothing can prepare you all for all the emotions. Rocket Raccoon's origin story is beautiful and heart-wrenching. Apparently, they had to get this German reaction from Marcus Truth. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is probably the saddest and darkest MCU film, and a wonderfully rounded conclusion to Gunn's trilogy, where everyone in the fight against a mean but rather shallow villain gets their big moment again. Have tissues ready for jerking off.
For jerking off.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that. Oh man. I mean, I don't doubt the movie's bad, but there's so many of these Marvel movies where it's like, we get what you're trying to do. You're trying to get some good coverage on it before it releases, and
well, they've been having really crappy pre-sales, haven't they?
Yeah, this movie, I keep telling people this because this was known for since the beginning of this month that the pre-sales were not looking good. For whatever reason. I mean, there's so many different reasons why, but it's tracking behind Ant-Man 3, which is not good. That's not good. So now they're projecting either from 80 million to 110 opening weekend domestic, which seems pretty low from what it was like 2 weeks ago, which was like 130 million. So this is not looking good. And this is not, it could open at 80 million if it was like December, and then it would just play, December, January, February. But that's not going to happen. This is in May. There's a bunch of other movies coming out. You have Little Mermaid, you have Fast 10, and then you have all the movies in June. So this is not going to have big legs, or long legs, I should say.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, if it's good, right? If it's good, I think it will.
Even if it's good, I think there's so much damage been done. Like, how many times did they say that this was the best movie since Endgame? I've heard that almost every single time. For Doctor Strange, Thor, Black Panther, even Eternals and Shang-Chi.
Well,
so
Shang-Chi stars good Canadian boy Simu Liu. So 56 says 2 felt like a straight to DVD movie, like Men in Black 2. 2 is weaker than 1. I'll give it that.
I like both of them equally. I think they're both good.
I think one is a little stronger because one has the dynamic of they don't really know each other, right? They're sort
Right.
of getting to know each other and how they're playing off each other. And two, they're like it seems like everyone's too comfortable. Like you went from like barely trusting each other to be like, yeah, we're fucking buddies. Like we went through
Right.
one mission, one life and death situation. Now we're fucking the bestest of friends.
Well, I still like the dynamic with Gamora and Nebula, and then obviously Star Lord and his dad. And somewhat Drax with Mantis. Mantis, I feel like, is maybe like the weakest character in that movie. And then obviously the stuff with Yondu. I still think it holds up. It just isn't the same as the first one, but it's still pretty good, like with the characters and the plot and everything. And even the song choices. So yeah, I'm definitely not in that camp who hates the second one.
I don't hate it. I just think it's weaker than the first.
There's some people who do hate it though.
It starts
The second
off
one.
strong. I think the what the hell are those people? Like the gold people?
Yeah, the church.
That
There's a
was
universal
like
church.
yeah, the Universal Church people. Like it was just like a swerve because like you start off, you're like, oh shit, they hate them. And like and it swerves
Right.
off like, oh, it's actually about Kurt Russell and Ego, and like they're not even really in the movie, right? Like
Right.
so.
Well, we'll get to see them in this movie, so
Yeah,
hopefully
we
it's
will.
not the same thing.
I did like Kurt Russell. I think he did a good job.
Yeah.
Though I was disappointed that they didn't have David Hasselhoff because that's what we kept saying, right? His dad was
Right.
David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, they should have made a joke like that. It makes me wonder, like maybe he's in this movie as a cameo. They have to do something like that.
Well, David Hasselhoff, he did a song on the soundtrack for 2,
Right.
so that was the only thing.
Because we did get Kevin Bacon in the holiday special, so I'm hoping there's another cameo, like a Joe cameo, because that'd be pretty fun.
Now, Beefy says, me and Junior are watching OG Turtle film. OG Turtle film was fun, and we're waiting to see the new one. The first one is a little bit darker. Like the second one is more fun, I would say.
Right.
Like the first one's kind of serious. Like I know it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, how serious could that be? But no, like it's actually pretty close to the comics, more so than the TV show.
Right.
It's kind of serious and
I can't even remember the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I remember, isn't it the third one where they go to Japan? Is it feudal
Yeah.
Japan? Yeah.
where they switch places with the 4 samurais.
Right. That was weird.
Yes, it was. All right, where do we leave off here? Another translated tweet from Jesus Agudo. And this is what he says. I went with a preconceived idea to Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and James Gunn has managed to surprise me for good. It is darker and even has touches of terror, but it's still very fun and with a lot of personality. Rocket and Nebula excel in a very dignified send-off. Man, they're really reaching for like all these like Mexican people. And stuff.
Right.
What's up,
Who
George?
popped in? Oh, what's up, George?
Hey guys.
We were just reading this Guardians article.
Talking about how emotional it's going to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
all these critics are saying it's great. He's called it the best Marvel's movie since Endgame. There you go. Blinded.
I mean, they've used that sentence for every Marvel movie that has come out since Endgame.
Exactly.
didn't know
Like it doesn't
Dunkin'
hold
Donuts-
water.
I mean,
Hold on, this is important. Has anybody tried the Dunkin' Donuts breakfast taco?
It looks like shit.
I'm wondering what this is. This like sour cream?
Sour cream, probably.
Sour
What
cream
else
and
would
eggs
it be?
Don't sound good. I don't fucking know. Jizz.
Sour cream and eggs. It's not that bad.
Back to Marvel. What were you saying, George?
I mean, in fairness, this film probably has a higher ceiling than most of the other movies that have come out since Endgame. But it's like when you hear it like so many times, And this is the movie that I have the most faith in, like out of any of the upcoming Marvel projects.
Right.
It does get annoying after a while, especially when like when a few of the last projects weren't all that great.
Right. It like some of these I don't know if they're like critics like if they write articles and all this stuff where they're just like, oh, I watch a movie and then I post my reaction on Twitter or YouTube, but some they just really they're I'm trying to like phrase this in a way that makes sense. Like their vocabulary is so redundant and just like it's not useful at all. Because like I'm sure if we look the sentence "the best Marvel movie since Endgame" on all the other movies that have come out, we're gonna find that because I've heard that so many times, and it was getting annoying. Where you're like, "Let me guess, this is the best Marvel movie since Endgame," and it's like, "Oh, it is." You're like, it just loses the weight of it, right? Where it's like, if all these movies are the best, then none of them are, right? Um, so
I,
it's just kind of unfortunate. I
I mean,
think.
all film is subjective. Like everyone's got a different opinion, but when you hear
Right.
that opinion every single time, it's one thing if you only hear it with one movie. Like let's take like No Way Home for example, because that's the movie that everyone says is the best post Endgame.
Right.
So like if you just say it for let's say No Way Home, but don't say it for the other movies until Guardians Volume 3 comes out, then it might be easier to buy into it. But when you say it
Mhm.
for like Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever, then Quantumanium, it drags on.
But if that was the case, then you would say the best Marvel movie since No Way Home,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
like
But they're not. They're not. It's like I'm so confused. That's why eh, I'm just sick of these tweets, these critic tweets. Because I also said this too that the reason why they use all this, it's so exaggerative and they use all these, fancy words, right? It's emotional, it's fun. It's because they're going to get in the promotional material. They're either going to put on some banners, they're going to put in a TV spot. You're going to see it all over on the damn DVD cover when it comes out. So it's like you can't really trust them. And I know that's like a cynical take, but that's what it is, right? Like they're the first ones to see it and they're going to hype it up to get attention.
And
Yeah.
to get Disney giving them more access. It's all access
Right.
media bullshit.
Right. And like I said, I don't doubt this movie is good. I hope it's good. I hope it's really great. But they need to just people need to stop doing this because it also is burning out people on Marvel specifically, right? Like I don't see any other franchise do crap like this, right? Like when Shazam 2 came out, did anybody say this is the best Shazam movie since
Sam one.
or
I
best
don't know,
DC movie, best
the
DC
best
movie.
DC movie since The Dark Knight? They like to say shit
It's the
like that,
Snyder
right?
But
cut.
that's the thing
It's the
DC
Snyder
does as
cut.
well because like I hear that all the time. Like I heard that with like Aquaman, then with Shazam. Now we're hearing it with the
Right.
Flash. And look, I'm not saying like the Flash won't be a great movie because I think like it has the potential to be. I'm just saying when you hear it every single time, not just Marvel but DC, it's like okay, are you just saying this to get people excited?
Yeah.
Right.
Like because like I remember like hearing this with the first Shazam, and I like the first Shazam, but it's nowhere near as good as the Dark Knight in my opinion. And I think
Right.
and there's
Right.
many people that will agree with that. And I wouldn't even
I agree. I
say
agree.
it's the best DC film since the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I think this is all sometimes overblown, and people just have this weird fixation of like trying to hype shit up and trying to make it like a bigger deal than it actually is.
I
It's
feel
just
like
annoying.
the only one that I'm not convinced by, but I'm saying like does have me intrigued is the fact that every time like Flash has a screening, it's very positive. But at least like
Right.
you have that information to back up that hey, this could be a potentially great movie. You never really got that with any of these other movies that the screenings for it were very good. A lot of people were
Right.
really high on it. Like the Flash, like you're getting these screenings leaked out saying, "Oh, this is a great movie" and all that.
Leaked out,
Right.
quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote.
But like
Because
you
I
don't
mean, it's
really hear that.
intentional.
But you don't
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
get that
I,
with any of the other DC or Marvel movies.
right. I agree with that.
But
You,
again,
you,
you probably need to say that because the Flash is under controversy because of Ezra Miller. So you
Yeah.
need to get
right,
people excited for this film by saying it's still a great movie, even though our star is crazy.
right. That's also a good point too. Yeah. You never know. Like until the movie comes out, will never know, right? If the movie's great, then we'll say it's great. If it's not, then we'll say, well, this is all bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So do you think the box office for Guardians of the Galaxy is being affected by Disney Plus? Because people
I
know it's going to come out on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's coming out on Disney Plus anytime soon. Like Ant-Man 3, we still don't know when that's coming out on Disney Plus. Even though the digital, I think, is coming out, what, in May? The beginning of May. So
Yeah, but
I think it's
there
weird.
doesn't feel like a sense of urgency. Like I still haven't seen Ant-Man, right? Huge
Right,
Marvel
right.
fan, and I'm just like, well, I'll just wait to Disney. There's no urgency for me to go out and see it. Like,
I think it's a lot of factors, you know. I think it's not easy to say because it is if this movie does again, if this is like an $80 million opening movie domestically, like that's a huge knock against Marvel, right? And it's gonna be like crazy to be like, well, how did that happen? Where even just like a couple months ago, people were still okay with Marvel, right? So it's like there either is some, you know, either people are not that interested or they've seen enough, or maybe it's because the Guardians of the Galaxy, like we haven't, like we did see them in Thor, right? But we haven't really seen their story in such a long time, right? Like it's been like what 7 years in between 2 and 3. So
but we had the
I don't
holiday
know.
special.
Yeah, we did have that. Yeah, yeah, that
Donovan
was
says
fair.
I'm going to see 3 in IMAX. To me, it's an
Yeah,
event.
I'm seeing an IMAX too. I think I like James Gunn. I like what he did with the characters and stuff. And I've always said these were my favorite Marvel movies. These were what made the MCU interesting. So I'll definitely be there, regardless of what the reviews say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well, this is what I'm hoping is not the case because I think the problem that the MCU has created is that everyone sees the next movie just to know what's going to get set for the next movie. I hope
Right,
because this is supposed to be like the end of the Guardians and all that, or at least this version of the Guardians. And I don't think it's really going to set up anything that's going to be important for this multiverse saga.
right,
I hope like people aren't skipping this movie because they don't consider it important for the multiverse saga. Because that'd be a real shame, especially if this movie turns out to be a great movie. Like
right.
you're missing out on seeing an actually great Marvel movie because it's not leading into anything, and that's a
But
problem.
but you know what also might be a problem too. We have to also consider the fact that so many Marvel movies have copied James Gunn's style. And so I think people when they see Guardians of the Galaxy, it's just such like this massive reflection of what Marvel is. And since people are already sick of the humor, right? It's like why would they see a movie that basically is like doubling down on that? It's like, you know what I mean? I know obviously it's probably going to be more emotional and it's going to have a lot more stakes, but the Guardians of the Galaxy were always known to be more funnier and to have that emotional scene and then it's like undercut with a joke. Like every Marvel movie now somewhat steals that approach, which is annoying, right? Because it's like,
Yeah, well, the thing is, James Gunn is able to pull off where others can't pull it off.
right,
So the thing is,
but still,
you're gonna skip out on the one movie where the director actually knows how to pull it off, just because Thor: Love and Thunder failed at it. It's
right,
annoying because Marvel has actually put themselves in this corner
I liked Love
yeah,
and Thunder.
between like
nah,
replicating that style that people did get sick of, or like others failed at doing, giving so many Disney Plus shows and
right,
movies in like a short amount of time. And I get it, things got delayed. You need to like push. You want to push this thing out, but it's like but like you're sacrificing quality storytelling.
right,
You're sacrificing like good character development.
I don't know. I just think to me, again, huge Marvel fan. I seen every single Marvel movie in the theaters, starting with Iron Man, right, all the way
mhm,
through fucking Far From Home. Right, Black Widow was the
right,
first one I skipped.
Same, yeah.
Skip Black Widow. Then I seen Chang-Chi. Then I skipped Eternals. I seen Spider-Man No Way Home. Seen Doctor Strange. Skipped Love and Thunder in the theaters. I went back for Black Panther. And then I right now I skipped Ant-Man and Quantumania. Probably gonna see that.
Right. You know what makes me wonder too? I bet any money if somehow things played out differently, Ant-Man came out in like 2021, that was like the first Marvel movie back, that movie would have gotten better reviews. Like I think that's what happened, right? I think people are like at least the critics, and I don't know what the audience score was, but most people didn't like that movie, right? So I think in general people just got sick and tired of it all, and just were like, you gotta change it up, right? Like you can. And I was telling George and Aaron this yesterday. Like they can't rely on that formula anymore. They have to do something. They have to do something entirely different. They have to go back to when it was like 2014, and everybody was like, "Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy might bomb," right? Not because it was looking like a shit movie, but because no one knew if people would be interested in watching that kind of movie with the Marvel name on it, right?
Yeah.
So they need to change it up. They need to do something new. They got to either go in the opposite direction and make a movie that's like really serious and emotional and actually has some stakes to it, or you have to find a new genre to mix it with something. They can't just rely on the same shit. I'm sorry.
Like, because here's the thing, audiences, and this goes for not just Marvel, it goes for all comic book movies, because I've also noticed this with like Black Adam and Shazam.
Right.
People want unique comic book movies at this point.
Right.
Like, it wasn't that long ago that No Way Home and the Batman did make a lot of money. And I get it, those are two popular heroes, Spider-Man and Batman.
Right.
But a lot of people felt like that those movies did something different with those heroes. So, like, people will go see things that feel different, that feel unique. But if it's like cookie cutter and just like mid or okay, no one's going to want to waste their money to see like mid-tier, maybe okay, or like average comic book movies. They want to see great comic book movies.
Yeah.
I agree.
They got to do a Daredevil noir type series.
They have to do something interesting, something that is offbeat and new. But it's like, what the only stuff I could think, if they this project now, I'm gonna like, if this is actually rated R and it's a horror movie and it plays like the original Blade, that actually might be like the movie that could potentially be rejuvenate, yeah. Right, because it's like you need to have something where you're like, this is something they would definitely not do. This is a risk. They're not taking risks. They're $1 billion corporation, and it's like people will go watch it regardless, right? Like people are like, we're talking about, if it's gonna make 80 million opening weekend. Like most movies can't even do that, right? So
but still, the amount of money they take to make it.
Right.
The 80 million is not a good return on
it's not a good return, but still, if you made $100 million movie and it opened that big, you're probably going to break even. You might even make profit, but for them, they spent way more than that, right? More than 100 million. So it's going to be interesting, because we were saying in the chat like, 2025, there's all these good comic book movies, but there's still 2024. There's still all these movies we have to get through. And what about Captain America? No one's talking about Captain America, right? Like that movie could be not good. Like in terms of it being like, who wants to see this, right? You don't have Chris Evans. Who really cares so much about Captain Falcon, right? Like he's not a movie character, right? We've seen him in a TV show. The TV show is, it was decent, but it's not a movie. It's not. We don't know how it's going to sell, right? So they gotta be careful of what they're picking going forward.
And I feel like there are fans that are like, they have this mentality where they're like, okay, 2024, we got all these Marvel movies coming out. The only one I'm concerned about is Deadpool 3. As long as that's good, I'm good. It's like, no, like you want all your movies to be good, because at a certain point, all these movies are obviously going to lead to somewhere, like the Infinity Saga. did. Even like the grounded MCU movies in that saga led to something. You gotta have. I feel like you gotta want more from your favorite franchises, and especially Disney, because this isn't just Marvel. I'm noticing it with. I've noticed it with Star Wars, with their animated movies. Disney is feeling a bit lazy right now. It feels like they're settling for mediocrity right now, and they need
because
to.
people will buy it. I think that's the sad part of it. Is like we know we're still gonna see Guardians, right? We'll probably still see the Marvels, right? Like they know that there's a built-in audience where the movie could be completely unfinished, and people still watch it, right?
Well, the thing is, that might be acceptable for the comic book movies, but if you're noticing like last year they lost like out on money with some of their animated stuff,
right?
So like that should be a sign that it's Disney as a whole that needs to step up. It's not just a Marvel problem; it's a problem I feel like with all their studios.
Right?
People, like they're just throwing out cookie cutter stuff, not really doing what they used to be known for doing, breaking new grounds.
Or just good stories in general. I mean, look at The Mandalorian. I know some people like The Mandalorian, but The Mandalorian was just such a step down in quality. Like, what happened to that show? Like, it's actually baffling, and it's like the fact that yes, I understand there are hardcore Star Wars fans. They're like, this is great, this is amazing, but to me, I'm like, that show was so lackluster in terms of the writing and everything. Like it was almost borderline boring. I didn't want to say it's completely boring, but I was not invested or intrigued at all week to week, and I stuck with it. I've seen a lot of garbage, but I know a lot of people dropped off. Tony dropped off, and he came back.
I haven't seen the finale yet.
You see, like
here's the thing: it was like 1 week you would have a good episode, and then 1 week you would have an episode that you would forget in like 10 minutes.
Then 1 week you would have Lizzo, and she would, save everything, and you'd be like, "Thank God she showed
Liz.
And it's like you're looking at all these other companies that are starting to realize in all these other franchises, they need to understand that like the video game adaptations are starting to grow popular. The horror genre is coming back. They need to step it up because you're seeing all these other genres either coming back or they're finally rising up for the first time.
Something is going to take Marvel's place. That's what's going to happen.
Hold on, because George has given us a great transition to the last article. Because speaking of video games, the Direct says these are 10 video games that Hollywood should never make into movies.
Never. And you got Animal Crossing and GTA and Skyrim. This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
Right off the bat, I don't agree.
After the success of things like Super Mario Brothers movie and HBO's The Last of Us series, video game adaptations are all the rage. However, some things might be best left in the digital realm.
Hold on. This is one. Okay, before we go forward, if this list does have Smash Brothers, I'll give it credit. If it does not, fuck this article. That's what I got to say.
In the coming years, Hollywood takes on everything from Minecraft to Twisted Metal, featuring Captain America himself, Anthony Mackie, are on the way. But while some video game franchises are primed for the big screen, others should never be adapted into movies. So here are some names in gaming that would be better off left as just that, video games. I'm pretty sure, isn't there like a GTA movie in the works or something?
No, I don't. They were supposed to make this biography about the making of GTA, and they couldn't release it. And it had Daniel Radcliffe. I'm not sure if anybody remembers that, but that was like a few years ago. I wanted to see that. It was like, what the fuck?
Wait, what game was he going to be in?
It was like a biopic of a making of the Grand Theft Auto series.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, could you imagine Daniel Radcliffe going from Harry Potter to Grand Theft Auto?
Well, he was in Sin City, wasn't he? No, that's Elijah Wood.
No, yeah, he's been in some weird things.
Daniel Radcliffe was in like that play where he was like naked or some shit, right?
Who knows? I mean, he was Weird Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
All right, so Animal Crossing. I think Animal Crossing would actually be a good like TV show.
I never thought of a TV show, but yeah, that could work. There's no. Here's the thing. This article is really stupid, right? Because it's like you're beginning with a literal game that just is like now Nintendo's best selling game. Like
Yeah.
everybody knows Animal Crossing now. Why wouldn't you make a movie out of it? You can easily make a movie out of this, right? Like, and
new guy
it could be
comes
funny too.
to the village. He's not an animal. The rest of them are animals. How he fits in.
Right.
Fish out of water. One of the biggest names in gaming as of late has been Animal Crossing. The charming life sim sees the player as the only human in a colorful settlement of adorable animals, foraging, building, and completing tasks for the locals. Despite the series being beloved by fans worldwide, it would not make the best film. So much of the Animal Crossing experience is simply living and existing in that world. And that is something that would not lend to an exciting big screen experience. Pong.
Pong. Okay. But that last point was insanely stupid.
Weren't they making a Pong movie?
Maybe.
Didn't even hear. I never even heard of this.
I mean, look, I feel like they were. And it was probably like Tetris, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's funny. I put in Pong movie, and the first thing that came up was Balls of Fury.
Yeah, that's what I got to.
I could have
No, I
swore
don't see
there was
anything.
going to be like one of those like making of or like Pong
Right.
was the biggest thing in the 70s, and this is the story behind it or some shit.
Right. There is Pong the movie. What is this?
No, that's Encyclopedia. Don't.
Okay, that's some bullshit. Yeah, because I'm Marlon Brando. What the fuck? No, I don't see anything. I mean, it would make. I mean, after the Tetris movie, right, which was a pretty good movie. It is dramatized, right, but still, I think you can make making of video game type movies, right? Like that would be interesting to see. Yeah,
Because it was the first big one, right? It was the first big franchise or first big game. They had
right.
machines that were dedicated to just playing Pong. Could you imagine that?
Right.
Pong, along with many other classic arcade-style titles, is not something prime for Hollywood. All the enjoyment of Pong is derived from the act of playing the game. There's no gripping story or quippy dialogue. It is 2 lines and a ball, and that is it. Sure, there could be an opportunity to tackle the story of Pong in the same fashion as the recently released Tetris film, looking at the origins of the classic video game, but there's no sprawling tennis story to tell here. Please, Hollywood, just leave Pong alone. They made an emoji movie. I could see them doing like left paddle decides to leave because it doesn't want to be stuck playing Pong forever. And he goes on an adventure through Atari Land to realize that he has to come back. Could you imagine then this dot? It turns out that the dot from Pong is actually the same dot from Adventure.
Oh my god.
I'm writing the movie. Call me, Hollywood.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
The Elder Scrolls.
Oh boy.
This is a huge franchise. I think this was a swords and sorcery type movie would fucking work really well.
Right.
But George's cough is contagious.
I'm giving it through StreamYard.
Oh god.
Got StreamYard COVID. Oof. To some, the world of the Elder Scrolls might feel primed for a Hollywood adaptation. They keep using that word primed. However, the sweeping open world RPG series would likely not work as a summertime blockbuster.
Why?
Because the best part of the Elder Scrolls game is not the story presented by the development team, but the ones the players make for themselves. So many hours of these games are exploring this world, finding side quests, and immersing oneself in the fantasy setting. That off-the-beaten path sort of storytelling would not be conducive to a traditional film.
You can make it an adventure movie with the lore of the Elder Scrolls. Like, what do you? So, like, this seems like someone who never actually played that series. Where it's like, yeah, I get there's a lot of people rag on the main story, right? But it's like you don't necessarily need to adapt the story from the game you could make a new one using the lore, right? Like,
Well, they're not even
this is
talking about
weird.
Skyrim. They just said the Elder Scrolls. That's the whole franchise.
Right. There's so yeah, right. That's a whole franchise. It's weird.
Kirby.
This is another one that's stupid. This is stupid. I don't get it.
I think he's gonna say because Kirby doesn't talk.
But the thing is, you know what's crazy, right? He used the image of the newest game, and that game you could probably make into a movie. It was relatively interesting, like the visuals and the villains, and like you could do a movie with Kirby, like using that game. It's like a post-apocalyptic cutesy movie. Like that'd be interesting.
Kirby and Donkey Kong, a better universe than Mario. You Super J says save $10 and watch Video Game Historians Tetris video. I believe Phil Adams is in that video. So. King DDD over Bowser. I'm not. You Super J says I'm not watching an Animal Crossing movie. Come on.
I mean, I don't blame you, but like, I'll still watch it. I like the series. Why not? I didn't like the newest game though.
With one Nintendo mascot lighting up the box office in Chris Pratt's Mario, some have been calling for Hollywood to bring Kirby and Dreamland to the big screen next. However, while Kirby himself has become fairly iconic over the years, the rest of his colorful cast of characters does not nearly have the sort of mainstream appeal the Mario characters do. Plus, add in the fact that aside from the errant Poyo and Hi, Kirby as a protagonist has never really had much to say.
Who cares? It's just
The Sims. I could have swore this was also in development as a movie.
I feel like, yeah.
I think it was one of those like, what happens when a sim breaks free? Because you know how they got the little diamond controlling them.
Right. I mean, they made hold on, like they
like
made
Free Guy,
right?
So they make the Sims
or
like
the
Wreck-It
Lego
Ralph.
movie,
yeah.
right? Yeah. It's not that hard to come up with ideas for games that don't have like hardcore stories, right? Like,
Yeah, you make like a meta story about the game.
right? Which I think is a lot more interesting.
Yeah, like Lego did it really well. Like, I mean, it's not necessarily about Lego, right? It's about the kid playing with the Legos and the world he creates and how everything fits in his imagination.
You Super J is right. I keep saying this. I'm gonna keep saying this. A Kid Icarus movie would be fucking amazing. Okay,
He wants a
if we're
Del Toro Kid Icarus movie.
I don't know about Del Toro. By the way, Del Toro had a fantastic cameo last night.
Did he?
If you're watching Barry, that was hilarious. But I don't know about a Del Toro Kid Icarus, but Kid Icarus, if you're doing it like the Uprising game, that would be super interesting. That's a different angle. You're playing with the Greek gods and the Greek mythology.
Yeah. I don't see a Del Toro Metroid movie either.
Yeah. But Kid Icarus definitely. The thing is, like, yeah, I get these some of these games are not super popular. Like, I'm sure most people never played or heard of Kid Icarus Uprising, right? They just know like the original game. But still, I think it's not that hard to come up with ideas for some of these games. Like, this article just seems like they have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. Like, they just ran down a list of games.
They just want you to be mad.
Right. It's like they're making The Sims into a movie. Be fucking mad.
Del Toro
like,
for
okay.
Dead Space.
But like, here's the thing.
Yeah, Dead Space.
When was the last time a Sims game was relevant? It feels like ages.
They haven't been.
Did they announce? Yeah, there hasn't been a new one. I was gonna say, did they announce Sim 5 already, or is this like a rumor?
Like, I remember my sister used to play those games all the time.
I think they are working on Sims 5. Yeah, Sims 4 was like
Sims 5 Project
10 years ago. Right. When did Sim 4 come out?
Shit.
Damn, it's not even giving me the release date. Where's the damn wiki? 2014. Damn.
Yeah. They've been milking the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not much you could do with The Sims other than improve graphics and add new
Right.
chairs.
But it's not even. It's on PS4, Xbox, but it's not on the new platforms or even Switch. So
Well, it's on PS5 technically.
yeah, yeah, and I guess Xbox too. But still, I think. I don't know. They're gonna make a new one, obviously.
Well, they announced it. They said it's coming out.
Right.
It's called Project Renee.
With EA, they like to drag their damn feet. Takes forever.
All right, let's see what they have to say. A Hollywood take on Electronic Arts' The Sims would not work for similar reasons to Animal Crossing. The series of simulation titles are all about designing and maintaining the lives of a group of humans known as Sims. They could make a movie where the Sims are going about their day, that all of a sudden, like, the furniture like disappears. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, didn't you notice that? Like, he's the only one that notices like things changing.
Right, like the opposite of Free Guy.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, it's not. The next one is another one where you're like, this is just stupid.
The player serves as this godlike presence, catering to every need of their Sim family, hoping to keep them alive or not. Seeing as The Sims is just a digital simulation of life itself, this would be hard to translate to the screen and justify it being called The Sims. Call of Duty.
No, God.
Call of Duty is arguably the biggest franchise in video games, with yearly releases that sell millions of copies. However, the hit first-person shooter would not make the next great game-to-movie adaptation. One of the pillars of Call of Duty is its epic story campaign, with mind-boggling moments of action that would make Michael Bay proud. The franchise thought that should be though. I don't know. The franchise thought mimics Hollywood, allowing a player to be part of the action, including those same set pieces and stories on the big screen. But removing the player agency would result in a generic, run-of-the-mill military fare that has become infamous in film. What do you call it? You could do like no Russian. You could turn that into a movie. Or is it Call of Duty where they like where he's like hallucinates everything and it's all in his head?
It's all in his head.
No.
I don't know about that.
Is it Call of Duty or is it the other one? Is it Battlefield?
No, that's probably Call of Duty. I haven't played Call of Duty in fuck knows how long.
Maybe it's Spec Ops. It might be Spec Ops the line. There's one where like
the more you say that, maybe that's Spec Ops or that other game. What was that? That the controversial game was Spec Ops the controversial one?
Where you drop all the fucking phosphorus, the white phosphorus on the people.
Right. Someone will say it in the comments. That sounds like Spec Ops Online. Spec Ops Online actually would be pretty interesting as a movie, though. But same thing with Call of Duty.
It makes you feel bad for playing.
Right.
How dare you play a war game? Don't you feel bad now? Like, no. Right. I hate games like that. That's not good storytelling. Where they're like, pet this dog. Now shoot the dog if you want to continue. Like, I don't want to shoot the dog.
No, man.
Don't you feel like shit for shooting the dog? Like, no, you made me shoot the dog.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Right? It's like,
oh my God.
They do that in The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah. It's like, I don't feel bad because, like, literally I couldn't keep playing the game, right? Like, would you want me to just stop? Like, oh, I guess I'm done playing the game now.
Right. There's a lot of games that do that. It was a weird trend. Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like emotional impact.
Right. I just don't get like Call of Duty. Why? Like, first off, right? Like, this article starts off by talking about Mario. Like, Mario's not this deep fucking movie. Like, it's just pretty much the fucking game, right? And you got some Easter eggs. So you could obviously do a Call of Duty movie and it'll make money. Like, everybody's like, oh, they have crazy action sequences. Like, you're acting like there needs to be a story. Like, there could be a loose story. And on top of that, too, we kind of talked about this. Like, Call of Duty tends to have a lot of commentary in the games where sometimes it's really controversial. I'm sure they could easily put that in the movie to drum up hype, too, right? Like, put some weird thing in it and it's like, oh my God, there's all this outrage, but people still watch the movie. Like,
yeah. You know, it's not really Ukraine, but it's sort of Ukraine, and we're gonna go over and defend it.
Or it's
some
like
weird
you're
shit.
Pro-military. You're trying to recruit young people into the military.
Right.
Yeah. Portal's another one.
They're making a Gran Turismo movie. Like, and it has nothing to do with the game. It's just based on a real story where the guy plays Gran Turismo. It's like you can find a way. People are creative. We're supposed to be creative in the fucking movie industry. It's like, yeah, I get we're not creative here because we're taking something that already exists, but still, like, come on, fucking think.
56K says there's hundreds of those Call of Duty movies on DVD.
Oh yeah,
Portal,
like Dollar
Portal.
Tree movies.
Yeah, I don't know how can they say that a Portal movie is not a good idea.
Because it's just a puzzle game, I guess. Let me guess. That's what he's gonna say. It's just a puzzle game. There's no fucking story. There's no characters. You know, you have the character sitting right there. The fucking character's right there.
Because holding the controller is key to what everything has to do with. Well, it's really a game, and if you're not playing it, then why would you make it?
Oh my god! The next one. The fucking next one. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh.
Okay, because of player choice.
Oh my god. Go back to the Portal. We have to read the Portal one first. I can't believe they put Mass Effect though.
Portal and Portal 2 tell two of the best stories in video games. They just would not have the impact they do as movies. Part of the charm of the Portal series is having this incredible narrative evolve around its silent protagonist as the player moves from puzzle to puzzle and chamber to chamber.
Oh god.
Holding the controller is something so key to what Portal is. Playing around with the teleporting abilities of the Portal gun and figuring out the ingenious solutions to each of these tiny puzzle rooms is as much a part of the Portal experience as its gripping story. However, J.J. Abrams is currently developing a Portal film, so he may prove this article wrong in a not-so-distant future. They literally put a game on the list that they knew was already going to be made into a movie.
And 56K is right. There's already a Portal short film. And there's the guy who made, I think, the most famous one. That guy made a bunch of great movies. 10 Cloverfield Lane. I didn't like Prey, but he did that movie. He did the first couple episodes of The Boys, so... No, I don't agree with this. This is a stupid take. This is the dumb fucking take. A Portal movie would be kind of cool. You could do a fucking Portal crossover with Half-Life. What the fuck are you talking about? This is just, like, bizarre.
I'm surprised Half-Life isn't on the list.
Yeah, I'm surprised, too. Maybe they don't even know what the fuck Half-Life is.
we got Mass Effect, so let's see what they say about Mass Effect. BioWare's Mass Effect series has been compared by some to the likes of Hollywood's monoliths like Star Wars. However, the adventures of Commander Shepard are probably better left in the digital realm and not on the silver screen. The universe of Mass Effect is massive, with hours of gameplay spent combing through the almost token-esque description.
What the fuck? The more you describe it,
the better it sounds.
If you've never played Mass Effect, which if you've played Mass Effect, everybody would be shitting on you, right? Like, people would obviously want a good live action Mass Effect. The story is like they say it's like Star Wars, but it's more like a mature Star Wars, right? Like it's a lot more, like
until the ending.
Star Wars meets Game of Thrones, right? That's how I see Mass Effect. So it's stupid.
Until the ending of 3.
Yeah, that's debatable. But
having in-depth conversations with various crewmates and hanging around the SSV Norman. Because of the vastness of the series, its story, and its incredible character, it would require an unprecedented buy-in from a studio to do it justice. So far, video game adaptations have sort of been a one-at-a-time deal, with sequels being announced after the success of a first movie or a season. Mass Effect couldn't be done this way and is better experienced in a medium where the viewer-player can spend hundreds of hours in this world and not 2.
And do a series.
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh boy.
Grand Theft Auto, GTA, as all the cool kids are saying, is not just one of the most respected names of gaming, but is an entertainment as a whole. The crime sandbox is beloved amongst fans, allowing gamers to get into all sorts of criminal hijinks and some of the most detailed open world maps on the market. But the best part of GTA would not translate well to the big screen whatsoever.
Don't scroll down entirely. You need to keep the last one a surprise.
I'm not going to. But what I was going to say is, with GTA, I feel like GTA is the kind of thing that you could make a movie with the GTA name and not actually have to have it deal with any of the characters from the GTA franchise, right?
Right.
Just sort of like the idea.
Right. Because GTA has a specific style that I I mean, like we all know movies that kind of have this style, but they're not big budget movies, though. That's the thing. So, I mean, if you were going to do a GTA movie, it would be kind of more unique because we don't necessarily see that type of movie with a big budget and the humor and the style of it. So, like I said, this person seems to lack creativity. It's like, yeah, we get it. It kind of looks ridiculous. Like you're making a fucking Portal movie, and most people probably know Portal just from the gameplay. But still, like you could do something with it if you know, and you do your research, right? You talk to the developers and you walk through. You can find a story, right? You can find a story that's meta, as you know, Tony was saying. So, and to pick this game out of all the games you pick, oh, let's not do the most popular, well-known game ever. Like, what the fuck are you smoking? Like, seriously.
The actual story beats of the Grand Theft Auto games usually boil down to generic crime boss film tropes, giving players a fun opportunity to participate in the sort of amazing sequences they see at their local cinema. Seriously, the direct editors.
They should have thrown this out in the bin, in my opinion.
Bin this one. A GTA movie would ultimately end up being forgettable, bringing with it nothing of what makes the series special with its make-your-own fun brand of urban adventure.
How do you know that? Do you have the script? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I feel like they're not even talking about GTA. They're talking about more like the Saints Row, because it's not really a make-your-own fun brand of urban adventure. Right. It's more like...
It's a story fucking driven game with missions. It's a fucking action adventure. What the hell are you talking about?
All right. Here comes the number one.
Okay, then the next one I'm going to guess. If it says Zelda, burn the direct.
What do you think it's going to be, George?
Yo, I'm with Blinded. I don't know what I'll do if it's Zelda.
Didn't they make an Italian Job movie?
Oh, I feel like they did. Yes, I think they did. Hold on.
Italian Job.
Let me see.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I was going to say Mark Wahlberg was in that, yes. And he also, hold on. Yep, 2003. No, yeah. Hold on. Wait.
Fuck. It's not really based on the game, right?
No.
Well, because the Italian Job is a video game based on the 1969 film with the same name.
It's a racer.
Yeah, but I guess there's a film that the game is inspired by.
Right.
Then the new movie is inspired by the game.
Right. That's a weird circle.
Yeah. Because I feel like the Italian Job, that's the one with Michael Caine, right? At the end where they're on the bus and he throws the thing.
Hold on, the remake and the game came out at the same time.
Did it?
Yeah. It says the game came out in 2003 and then the movie came out in 2003. The remake of the original one. Because, yeah, I remember now. And it was directed by the guy who did Fast 8. Which no one remembers that guy. He did Friday, though. Friday's a cool movie.
Where's Half-Life? Well, apparently they think Half-Life should get a game.
Yeah,
or a movie. What do you think? So you said Zelda. What do you think, George? What do you think's number 10?
I hope it's not Zelda, but
I'm gonna go on a limb because the article's so stupid. It's gonna be Star Wars, Jedi Survivors.
Or it's like the Godfather game. Could you imagine?
They really should have made a movie after this Godfather game. It's fucking generic. It's generic.
Oh my god.
All right, let's go. Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. Okay. I should have guessed this one. This is. Listen. I think this one is. I mean, we keep saying it's all stupid. I think this one in particular is really fucking dumb because there's no fucking movie that looks like these games. There's none. Like, what the hell?
It would be unique. Get fucking Guillermo del Toro on the phone. I think he would nail it.
Guillermo del Toro doing this type of game like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or Demon Souls. By the way, they are making a Demon Souls movie. So this guy's fucking wrong. Why? Just fucking why?
Everything seems to be, well, it works good as, the challenge is why you play the game, and that doesn't translate to a movie. It's like, no shit, because you don't play a movie, you just watch it.
Right.
It's passive. It's a passive experience. As much as Hollywood would probably want to make a Dark Souls movie work, it just would not. From Software's RPG franchise has become a modern pillar of the video game world, offering fans epic fantasy, gothic, and samurai adventures highlighted by their tremendous difficulty. And it is from this difficulty that comes the reason why a Dark Souls adaptation can never happen. They should make the movie really hard. It's like you have to answer questions. Yeah, you have to answer questions, and if you get it wrong, they're like, "Oh, sorry, you got to start back over from the beginning of the movie."
No, man.
You've died. They could do like the hell's that? Dragon's Lair. They could do like Dragon's Lair, where you're like you have to push a button. Like, oh, you've died. Restart the movie.
Oh man, that would piss off so many people. Oh my god.
Yes, the world and lore. Who popped in?
Oh, I think that was me. Yeah, my icon is gone.
Yep.
No, fuck.
Yes, the world and lore of these games are great, but it's the challenge and sense of satisfaction from overcoming said challenges that makes these games special. There's just no way Hollywood could emulate the sweet ecstasy of coming to a Dark Souls boss, having one's head bashed in over and over again, and then eventually emerging victorious within the confines of a big screen blockbuster.
No.
Oh wow.
This shit just.
Joshua Press says Chad Stahelski,
Stahelski.
the director from John Wick, would be a great pick for a GTA movie.
I mean, he's a good director. I don't know about GTA though. I think GTA is more reliant on the script and the action, but not John Wick action. It has to be kind of like ludicrous, right? Like
Ludacris is the director?
No. I mean, like just insane, right? Like they get a fucking helicopter and then they crash the helicopter, right? Not so much like, yeah, like because they're stupid, right? It can't be slick action. It has to be kind of like, I can't believe this is happening. Like these characters are so stupid.
Yeah. Oof. Who did Crank? I think the director from Crank would do a good GTA.
Yeah, I think the script has to be good for a GTA movie to work. Because it's all satire. Like most of it is. GTA is really funny.
Yeah.
Like, and it's poignant. It actually has a point to it. So you can't not have that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could do like I said, a GTA, like what the hell is it, Vice City type game, where it's kind of tongue in cheek about the 80s,
right?
Or do a 90s. They did fucking the 90s one, San Andreas.
The San Andreas movie would go absolutely crazy. Who wouldn't want to watch a San Andreas movie? What the fuck? Like, you can have the scene with the train and they fucking fuck up on the train, right? And you have the line like, CJ, all you had to do was follow the damn train. Like,
follow the damn train, CJ.
Like, it writes itself. What are you talking about? Don't do a GTA movie.
Well, wasn't Samuel Jackson? Didn't he do the voice of the cop?
Yeah, he did. He
could reprise his role. Have fucking Ice Cube's son play the main character, CJ.
Right. I've said this for years. I'm like, San Andreas could easily be a movie. Like, it's so fucking good. But like, what the hell is this guy smoking? Like, like, did he just play GTA 5 and he's like, oh shit, can't have 3 protagonists in a movie?
Nah, he probably played the original overhead GTA.
Oh my god,
GTA London, it's no good.
And he's also acting like Dark Souls and Elden Ring don't have fucking interesting lore.
No, he said the lore is good, but it's because that you don't get the sense of satisfaction from beating a boss in a movie. It's just wouldn't work.
The game exists. It's not like they're taking away the fucking game.
Also, it's not like the Mario movie is the same experience as playing the game, right?
Right.
Like, he doesn't understand. Like, it's a different medium. Like you're trying to be like, well, it wouldn't work because in the medium of video games, this is how it is, and that doesn't work in movies. Like no shit.
Could you imagine if this guy was in charge? Like there would be all the greatest movies that are based on books. Like they would never happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't do The Godfather, guys. The book is like 1,000 pages long. Fuck. How are we supposed to make that into a movie?
No, if it was this guy, he would have kept the party. Have you ever read the Godfather book?
No, I haven't.
There's a part in the Godfather book where Sonny, supposedly his cock is so huge. It's in the book. His cock is so big that he can't fuck normal women.
Right.
And then he meets a woman with a vagina that's fucking stretched.
Oh
It's
my.
perfect. It's in the book. It's like a whole 2 chapters on this. Because I think he goes to
my God.
Las Vegas to meet her or whatever.
Right.
They Tony watching porn for stuff. Yeah, I gotta watch porn. Am I the only one who's never watched a porn and went, man, that was great? Now I want to see how it ends. Fast forward,
No.
fast forward, fast
Fast
forward.
forward. Fast.
I don't need 6 more sex scenes already. I'm finished.
Oh my God.
That's who the killer was. Fantastic.
I'm surprised. You know what he could have put on the list, and I would have gave him more respect. Oh, Smash Brothers, but if he put Resident Evil, I'd be like, you know what? I get it, right? How many fucking Resident Evil reboots do we need? But still, like you could. It's just, man, like just stay at your job at the direct, okay? Don't leave your job. Don't progress. Just stay there. That's all we need. All the spelling errors and everything.
What I think is he wanted to fit the most popular games into one article so he could have all that SEO. You look up fucking
Probably.
GTA, boom, direct article. You look up, Animal Crossing, boom, that direct article.
Oh my God.
Like that's all it was. It was just trying to game the SEO. All right. Well, I got nothing left. That's pretty much everything. I didn't watch CinemaCon. I don't care about CinemaCon.
Doesn't it start tomorrow? It's not today. Is
No,
it?
today starts the Sony panel.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What
I mean,
movies do you
I know-
have?
I know they showed off like a graphic for El Muerto.
Wait, what?
Oh, I didn't see that. I gotta go
Apparently,
look.
RJ retweeted it.
Okay.
It was just like the comic panels with El Muerto January
Oh.
here. I'll pull it up right now.
You mean shit I could have done in Photoshop?
Probably.
Really crappy? Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's really crappy.
El Muerto. January 12th, 2021.
This is
Didn't
gonna
they
be-
say like they haven't even started
What?
it?
Yeah, they haven't started and they're still with that release date.
This is gonna be the biggest bomb ever.
Oh,
I
God.
don't know. Look, this movie can be very successful if they make it like an actual luchador movie.
Right.
Uh,
Which they are going to. This is
No, they're not.
I'm imagining this in my head. Amy Pascal calling Kevin Feige and saying, "Does Tom Holland want to face a luchador?"
Oh, God.
Los Luchadores. No, but have you ever watched like you probably haven't. So I don't know why I'm asking, but have you ever watched
What?
like a El Santo movie or a Blue Demon?
No,
movie?
definitely not. Yeah.
No.
Where they walk around with their mask on and they're just like beating people up and stuff. But like,
Right.
so if they did it like that, like a fucking
I didn't even know there was luchador movies. Besides,
Yeah, dude,
like
fucking
serious,
luchadors
like
are-
a serious one.
dude, there's like they made tons of fucking money
Right.
like doing these movies.
I'm gonna have to
there's-
look into this now.
The reason that they created okay, so one of the most popular luchadors is Mil Mascaras, right?
Mhm.
The character was created because the Santo and the Blue Demon were both injured and they couldn't make any films. So they created
Right.
this luchador specifically so they could make more fucking movies because the genre was so popular.
Right. That's
So, I mean, they're big business. They fight like here. Let me pull up one. We'll watch something that'll get us copy struck, but who cares?
Oh man.
This is El Santo versus the Cyclops. Look at that 70s cinematography.
What in the world?
I forgot I was on mute. I was laughing. He just keeps going.
Hell yeah. Poor guy in the suit just getting his ass whooped.
Oh shit.
Like, stab him.
Just stab him.
What in the world?
Oh man, that looked campy as hell.
They are. They're fucking
Yeah.
campy as fuck, dude.
The music playing, like, oh my god.
But I'm saying,
No,
like,
I had no clue. That's interesting though. I should have figured that, but yeah.
Part of it that's what makes the movie so funny, at least for like an American audience, right?
Right.
Is like they're wearing their mask and they're just like they're being treated like normal. Like no one like draws any attention to it. It's just like no big deal. Like this guy walking around with a fucking mask on.
Oh man. Now if Sony was clever, they would do something
that.
like this. Yeah. But no, it's gonna be some generic fucking superhero movie. That's what I'm guessing. So sad. So sad.
I mean, the character had what, like one appearance in the comics.
Yeah.
They should start the movie like that. Here it is, Sony. If you're listening, start the movie with El Muerto fighting like a Cyclops, like a generic 70s style movie, and then you find out he's actually a real superhero that fights real monsters, and that they just film it and then they sell it to like a studio.
Oof.
Because I don't see any other way this character is going to work, especially in a Latin market. Like,
I mean, Bad Bunny will carry it, I guess. Who the fuck knows?
yeah, but he's gonna have to wear a mask the whole time.
Right.
So that's
Which he probably won't, right? That's the sad part of it.
No, he has to.
But I can guarantee you he's gonna be, you're gonna see the poster and he ain't gonna be wearing no mask. He's gonna be wearing, I'm telling you, that's what's happening.
If he doesn't wear a mask, the fucking Latin audience is gone. He just like your whole audience that you're trying to get is gonna be gone.
They're gonna be like, what's the point? I'm telling you, they're gonna listen, this is Sony. There's no fucking creativity up there. They don't give a shit. I mean, the fact that they're making this movie is already like,
well, they want
come
that
again.
market.
You could have picked any fucking Spider-Man villain and just changed him and race bended him, and it would have been okay.
They picked a character that was in only what, like 2 issues?
One issue.
Right, one issue.
Like, oh my!
I had that issue actually. So
wasn't that like? Was that that wasn't a fucking mainline Spider-Man comic though? That was like. It was? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Adventures with Spider-Man or some bullshit.
No, it was a mainline story. He was in the hospital for something. I forget.
Right.
And then he runs into there's another character. It's like El Oro. He's like the golden one. He's trying to take El Muerto's mask because you don't deserve it. You've let down. And so he challenges Spider-Man to a fight or some shit like that to try to restore his honor.
Interesting.
It's like some really weird fucking thing. But I mean, make it campy. I think the Lobo brothers are going to be the villains in the Craven movie. So those are the only other Latino Spider-Man villains I know of.
Oh, I remember. It's been a while since I've seen them in a comic.
Hell, because they're dead.
Like that's what I mean. It's like characters that have been
Hasn't been
forgotten.
since the 70s. I mean,
Yeah, like I was like those characters, like weren't they like in the 70s or 80s? Like
They dead. They'll find a way. This is Marvel. You say that, and someone at the Marvel's like, "Oh shit, we should bring them back." It's like fucking Spider-Man's already in the ditch anyway.
Yeah, you might as well bring back the Lobo brothers. I mean, might as well have Spider-Man face off a zombie Uncle Ben.
Oh god.
well, now that you say that, they actually did bring back Uncle Ben.
They have.
But then it turned out it was actually the chameleon from 2211 or some shit like that.
Mm.
That's when they basically told you that, oh, yes, it was actually the Sandman that killed Uncle Ben, not some random dude. And I was like, what? Why would you retcon it just because of the stupid movie?
Mm.
Oh, my goodness.
Marvel Comics.
I mean, like that'd be like if DC decided to recon Batman and have like Jack Napier, like Joker, kill the Waynes.
They did
89.
They have done. They've done that somewhere.
Several times. It was
my goodness.
It was Jack Napier, then Jack Napier was Joe Chill. And there was some random dude and another dude.
Listen. They've done it somewhere, somehow. They got no shame. No shame.
These comic book companies, I tell you.
I mean, when you have a character who's going on for how many decades, like, they're going to run out of ideas, okay? It's like, shit. What do we do? Just copy the fucking movie, I guess. It's easy.
All right. Well, like I said, that's all I got. So, any closing thoughts? We've been here 2 hours.
No. Same BS as always. Always dumb shit.
We look forward to your future in the film industry.
So then everybody can complain about my dumb shit too.
Yeah.
No, man. The cycle.
Sony gonna Sony.
Yeah, that too.
All right, everybody. You know how we do it here. Love, peace, booty grease. I'm out this bitch.